Welcome back to RealPage Economy Express. We've got a lot to cover since our last episode, so let's jump right into the latest economic updates. Starting with the housing market, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association's Builder Application Survey for September 2024, mortgage applications for new home purchases increased by 10.8% compared to a year ago. However, on a monthly basis, applications decreased by 6%, aligning with typical seasonal patterns. Turning to consumer spending, retail sales rose 0.4% in September, surpassing expectations and up from August's 0.1% gain. Excluding autos, sales accelerated by 0.5%, well above the forecasted 0.1% rise. Notable increases occurred in miscellaneous store retailers, about 4%, clothing stores, about 1.5%, and bars and restaurants, about 1%. These gains helped offset a 1.6% drop at gas stations due to falling fuel prices. On the inflation front, the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers increased by 0.2% in September, mirroring the gains in August and July. Over the past 12 months, the All Items Index rose 2.4%, marking the smallest annual increase since February 2021. The Energy Index fell by 1.9% over the month, with gasoline prices decreasing by 5.1% before seasonal adjustments. In contrast, the Food Index increased by 0.4%. And producer prices remain stable, with the Producer Price Index for final demand unchanged in September after a 0.2% increase in August. Over the last year, the index for final demand rose 1.8%. A 0.2% decrease in prices for final demand goods was offset by a 0.2% increase in final demand services. Looking at the labor market, initial unemployment claims for the week ending October 12th decreased by 19,000 to 241,000, beating expectations. The 4-week moving average edged up by 4,750 to 236,250. Despite recent hurricanes impacting certain regions, claims in both Florida and North Carolina declined after a spike the previous week. Additionally, according to the state job openings and labor turnover summary, job openings increased in 6 states and decreased in 2 states in August. However, consumer sentiment took a slight dip in October. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index slipped to 68.9 from September's 70.1. Consumers remain frustrated with high prices, and many are reserving judgment on the economy amidst ongoing uncertainties. In summary, the latest data show that consumer spending is holding strong, inflation is easing, and the labor market remains robust. Now, these positive trends are encouraging for the multifamily industry as steady employment and consumer spending continue to drive housing demand. That wraps up today's edition of RealPage Economy Express. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.